All right, guys, welcome to the Chokehold Chat UFC Fight Night Paris reaction, instant reaction. So we'll go from the top to the bottom. The main event, 5-round decision. Imavov gets the victory over Bohalio. Kind of left the door wide open for RDR and Fluffy in a few weeks to get themselves a title shot versus Hamzat. I felt like the sniper and Imavov needed a finish, and he was in control a lot of the time, and he was stinging Bohalio real bad. But nickname like the sniper, you gotta finish. You gotta finish. He left it to the judges, and I just feel like the UFC, they definitely don't like that, and they're gonna wait for that RDR Fluffy fight. And if they can get a finish, that's who's going to get the title shot for sure. I mean, that's the way the UFC works now. But very impressed with Imavov. He really did kind of style on Bohalio, and Bohalio just could not get out of second, third gear. I mean, when he really threw that caution to the wind and started getting off some flurries himself, he was stinging him. He was doing well. And, I always did like Bohalio. I was watching him back when Hamzat had that fight with Gilbert Burns, and he was training with Darren Till back in Sweden. Bohalio was over there, and since then I did like him. I thought he was, a cool character, and I did want to get behind him. But, I really feel like Imavov kind of left the door open, but all in all, a good performance. The co-main event, BSD is not cooked. I'm sorry. I had a feeling he might be. He definitely proved me wrong. He stuck with the game plan. I told you guys that he would need to take him down in order to have success, and he stuck with the game plan, took Ruffy down, and just face cranked him out. And, Ruffy will be back, but good for BSD. BSD stays in the top 15, stays relevant, reminds us that he's still here. He's still a name in the lightweight division to look out for. Good for BSD. And on a side note, Herb Dean really needs to get himself out of these fights. Aljamain was on the MMA or Ariel Helwani show. Aljamain was on there, and he was talking about how Herb inserts himself too much into these fights. And I do agree. I mean, my uncle got me into the UFC a long time ago. A long time ago. He used to order the pay-per-views for the whole family and kind of got us all into MMA. But and we used to talk about how Herb was the gold standard, how he just made the right decisions, made the right calls all the time. But I feel like for like a solid 4 or 5 years now, I held Herb Dean in such like high esteem, but he really just makes bad decisions now. I mean, Aljamain was talking about just him getting too involved in the fight. Ruffy was complaining about low blows, and like a while after the original low blow had occurred, then Herb Dean steps in, takes away BSD's position, and just kind of inserted himself into the fight where he really didn't need to. And maybe BSD gets to finish earlier, maybe he doesn't. There was only like a minute left. But just decisions like that, I can totally see where Aljamain's coming from. I think these referees, I think Herb Dean, I think they kind of, they don't come up with, they don't give us excuses for bad calls. They don't really put themselves out there, but maybe we need younger refs. I don't know. But yeah, so third fight down, Paul Craig retires. I kind of was a little harsh on him. I felt that I was a little harsh on him earlier, but now that he's gone, it's like, man, like these guys retired is kind of sad. It really is kind of sad. But Modestas just puts an end to Craig. I mean, that elbow was crazy powerful, really nice elbow. I like that. I was thinking in my head with the last 15 seconds, I was like, dude, just let go. I mean, there's no way that he could triangle you in 15 seconds. I mean, maybe he could armbar you, break your arm in that 15 seconds, but just rain down some strikes. And he he just did it. Elbowed him into the ground, and Paul Craig had a nasty split on his ear. Wish Paul Craig the best. He's going to be fine. He'll probably open a bunch of schools, do seminars. I mean, learn jiu-jitsu from that guy, right? Just a complete expert. So I'm glad he's going off into the sunset, and he doesn't need to take any more damage like that. The past couple fights, he's been taking some damage. I mean, over his whole career, he's been taking some damage. So I'm glad he retired, and he had a pretty good career. Had wins over former champions, so he's legit. For Modestas, glad he could pass the test. They do need to give him somebody in the top 15, top 10. He looked great. He really did look great, but he was falling into some of those shots, kind of tripping over his own feet, falling into clinch situations with Paul Craig, which is the exact opposite of what you want to be doing. All in all, great UFC Paris Fight Night card. Super entertaining. Lots of finishes. What else did I want to say? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said earlier, right? Somebody over there at UFC Matchmaking hates Reese McKee. They hate him. That poor guy, dude. Yeah, that's another thing. Herb Dean, right? With the low blows in the Ruffy BSD fight, and then again with the Reese McKee fight. Reese McKee did take a body shot. He was down, but I believe that was an early stoppage. Herb Dean inserting himself into a situation where he did not need to be in. I mean, that's really what it is. And maybe Reese McKee wouldn't have won the fight, but he is playing with these people's careers. He's playing with their careers. Poor Reese McKee. And then, like I said earlier in the week too, Shauna Bannon taking another loss. Lucky for her, the women's divisions aren't very deep, so I don't think that they're going to cut her. Not yet, but doesn't look good. Anyways, great fight card. Super awesome that it was in Paris. Great. I mean, Paris has to be the spot to go and watch a fight. Bucket list, right? It is 3:38 right now on the West Coast, and the fights are done. What a beautiful thing. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Like, comment, subscribe, the Chokehold Chat. Thank you guys. Bye.